y prometer algo que no está en nuestro poder. Yo no sé lo que es eterno, no me pidas algo que es del tiempo. Yo no sé mañana, yo no sé mañana si estaremos juntos, si se acaba el mundo. Yo no sé si soy para ti, si serás para mí, si lleguemos a amarnos, odiarnos. Yo no sé mañana, yo no sé mañana quién va a estar aquí. De un café pasamos al sofá, de un botón a todo lo demás. No pusimos reglas ni reloj, aquí estamos solos tú y yo. Todo lo que ves es lo que soy, no me pidas más de lo que doy. No, yo no sé mañana, yo no sé mañana si estaremos juntos, si se acaba el mundo. Yo no sé si soy para ti, si serás para mí, si lleguemos a amarnos, odiarnos. Yo no sé mañana, yo no sé mañana quién va a estar aquí. Esta vida es igual que un libro, cada página es un día vivido. No tratemos de correr antes de andar, esta noche estamos vivos, solo este momento es realidad. No, no, no sé. Oh. Yo no sé mañana. Esta vida es una ruleta que gira sin parar. Yo no sé si tú, yo no sé si yo, cómo será el final. Puede ser peor o puede ser mejor. Deja que el corazón decida, vida mía, lo que sentimos. Mañana, yo no sé. Ahora lo que vivimos es algo realmente lindo. ¿Quién puede saber lo que pasará mañana? No hay nada escrito. Estamos solos tú y yo, y los momentos hay que vivirlos, hay que vivirlos. Yo no sé mañana, yo no sé mañana si estaremos juntos, si se acaba el mundo.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're well, and welcome to the Champions Livestream 258, where, of course, I'm going to have to start, as always, with the important legal trade disclaimer. Just to remind you, there is no financial advice in this stream, right? We're just going over, the educational side of the charts, where I'm going to be going in, taking a look at what's going on, giving you my opinions and outlooks of the we're going to start with Bitcoin and then we'll work our way through the other charts, right? So yeah, I hope that you really enjoy this Champions live stream 258, and we're going to be going over first on Bitcoin. And this actually is a very special stream. Why? Because it's actually going to be kind of the last Champions live stream, because from next week I'm going to be starting the live trading streams. They're going to be on a Sunday, so it's not a replacement per se. It's the same stream, but I'm going to be using it instead of just the Champions live stream, the layout that it is now. We're changing the layouts. It's going to be like my edition of live trading, where I'm going to have a brand new account dedicated just to the stream, where I'll take the trades on stream, and it will just be dedicated just solely for the Sunday stream. I might add in more during the week, or just spontaneously go live at times for the champion members. So That's the way that I'm going to work it. It will, of course, 100% every Sunday, and then spontaneously, if there's something going on and a trade that we've planned out is coming to fruition, well, then I'll also jump on stream at times. But 100% every Sunday from next week. I did plan to start it this week, but I've had some. Well, basically, I want to have a new company set up just for this live trading that I'm going to be doing on stream. So I didn't really want to mix it with something else, and I'm just having a bit of problems with a bank account, but if I don't get it sorted by next week, I'm just gonna have to use another company, and it is what it is. So yeah, 100% though that will start next week. So yeah, this is a final farewell of the Champions live streams. As we know, I do feel that the next week it's going to be better anyway. So I think it will be just way more easier. So you can just see the trade, see how I've planned it out. I can show you the exact entries, the exact stop losses, right? The exact targets that I'm going for. It's just going to be way, it's just going to be a lot easier to always just explain, hey, these are the trades. There you go, sort of thing. So yeah, let's start the last Champions live stream as we know it on the 19th of May 2024. Wow, what a special day. Actually 5 years. If you know Chart Champions, we've been around for 5 years. So yeah, pretty cool as well, right? Anyway, let's start. So we've obviously hit, we can see from during the week we had this very nice move to the upside, right? And we bumped into what was a very important resistance at $67,412, which was our daily time naked point of control. And we can see the real perfect reaction that we had off of this. Bam, straight into the level, instant rejection. Even if you look at this on a lower term time frame, that was the exact high. So this is like a 3-minute chart. You can see hit into the level, like big rejection. This came down to the VWAP. Okay, because I did take the short off of here, and then I took profit one at the VWAP. Of course, I'm still in the short, but definitely looks like it's going to be stopped out. But that's why I was so, this is why I emphasized in the Discords, do not get greedy on this short from here, because it's very likely we can hold a higher low, which we are doing, and push up for continuation. And that's why I took a pretty quick take profit one, really, because yeah, it just feels like we're going to push up higher. But really, right now, what we have going on is kind of this ascending triangle, right? And this type of price action generally is looking for another break at the highs. So yeah, I am fully expecting another break here upwards. So we'll see how it goes over the next, well, it might not happen during the stream, right? But we'll see over the next few days. But yeah, one would expect another break of the high here. Okay, so to see then what I had some questions from people saying, well, how did I get this daily naked point of control? Really simply, that daily naked point of control was actually off of time naked point of control. So you can see that that was all the way back from the profile on the 13th of April. So the 13th of April gave this volume point of control down here, right? But the time naked point of control, this is on 50 ticks. You can see how that time naked point of control, you bring it along, was right into the high there, okay, around 47,400. So that's the current level that we hit into and pulled back from. Because yeah, a lot of people were saying, hey Daniel, I can't find this naked point of control. Well, there you go, that's what it was, a time naked point of control on 50 ticks. So now I hope you can find it. So yeah, let's see what we got going on. I always prefer to start with a higher term time frame level, so let's start with that. I will delete that because we have obviously tapped this now. We haven't got this as a confirmed monthly yet, but I do kind of just say this is a likely monthly. Let's have this at the least it's monthly open, right? But it can be a monthly level if we get, it's like another, 10 days to go. But nevertheless, we'll have it ready, and I can always remove it. This, again, not confirmed, could change over the next 15 hours, but very likely to be another weekly. So we'll have that marked out again. If we get a massive crash in the next 15 hours, that's not a weekly, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be. So we obviously have just the weekly there. Monthly, weekly, yeah, $60,000. Let's see on the daily perspective. So we have the daily there, we have this daily here, we have a new daily here. Ooh, good. That is everything. Okay. So let me now just mark up very quickly these naked pointer controls, and then we can move on. So, da, 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 da. 63,687. 63,687. 63,687. I'm not going to even mark that out soon. Let's see what we'll have on the weekly then. I'm not going to mark that out. Too close. And yeah, not going to mark this out. So not that helpful. Let's see the monthly. Currently back down at around $63,000. 61. 61,300. So around the weekly. And this was about 63K, which we got nothing at. Okay. We're obviously now above the previous month VWAP, so that's very good. Monthly VWAP, you see support down there. And so something very important of course has changed, which I hope you're all aware of, and that is that we actually have a new range pointer control now. So as you can remember, this was obviously the old range pointer control around $67,000, right? But that has now changed. So when you, of course, update this to new price action, boom, and it's changed again. Well, that's embarrassing. It did change temporarily. Obviously, we've got then volume over the weekend. So yeah, but we did have, if I just remove the weekend volume, you did have you did have temporarily then for a few days the volume pointer control come down to 63. When did this change then? Let's just see. So yeah, now it is back there. Okay, yeah, so it changed. Okay, cool. So yeah, well, you can see we have a very, very tight margin there in terms of one candle difference is making a big difference on the point of control. Of course, we can see the value areas are the same. Let me just see if I have this marked out anywhere. Yes. So let's update these value areas. I'll put this up to its new value, down to its new value. Keep the pointer controllers marked out where it is. We can notice about $63,000 does have that layer of support, right? So that's $61,365. 61,365. I won't mark that out then for now. So yeah, we basically have, well, really the point of control has not changed again, actually, in the end, because it is when we take the whole range back at $67,000, give or take, right? But we did have temporarily this point of control change during the week of coming down to around 63. So when we actually broke up here, okay, it of course at the time is more bullish because, you know, on Wednesday when you actually had this pull, it was the point of control had shifted. So it was like, okay, the point of control has shifted downwards. Just 1 second. The point of control had shifted downwards when we were breaking up here on Wednesday, Thursday, right? So that was obviously a much more bullish context because you're thinking, okay, we have now clearly broken above $63,000. The point of control of the range has shifted. Okay, that makes this point of control weaker because it's no longer the range point of control. We got more volume down here now. Just gives that little bit of a slight probability change that this is a lower resistance, that this move is much more bullish. But now when you actually increase it again to the current price action, that hasn't really shifted in the end. So yeah, it was easy to be bullish on Wednesday, Thursday, but now Sunday the volume has shifted once again to the high, so it's not really got that bullish context again, right? So it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about that. So yeah, that's just something to be aware of. And we are still, again, you could be like, oh, Daniel, haven't we reclaimed this? And this, I mean, this is a higher term time frame range that we're in now, right? We've been trading this a few months, so we do want to actually see some actual. I wouldn't really class this as a reclaim, is what I'm saying, right? You can see this is a several month long range. Okay, you do want to see some higher term time frame closes above this, and all we've got at the moment, I mean, is close above, close back down below, and this candle hasn't even closed, right? So at the very least, we could like to see the weekly above here, but it would be nice to see a few consecutive daily candle closes. Right now, we're just simply trading at the level. This is neither reclaimed or lost as rejected. We're simply just trading at that level right now. Okay, on the lower term time frame with that ascending triangle, right? So lower term time frame, bit of an ascending triangle. But yeah, I wouldn't class this as point of control reclaimed. It's just like we're trading through that level, right? So yeah, that's just what I'd say on that point of control. Neither claimed or rejected from. So I would be looking for the next trade going forwards then. So let me just think about that. Oh yeah, we of course have this harmonic that's going on right now, which does have higher targets. This is a bit of a butterfly crab, butterfly harmonic, right? So this is a bearish harmonic because you come up for point D, and then you actually look for the rejection at point D. And I've already said this during the week, but point D really could be anywhere from 71,000, which is the monthly. And there is the possibility of this coming in at around $70,000, so $69,000 to $70,000. This little bit of a zone, of course. 69, you have the naked point of control, 70 psychological level. So you have this bit of a zone around $70,000 for point D. And this is, yeah, a bearish harmonic. So you would actually be looking for that rise into D for a drop. That's just something you need to be aware of, that this is a bearish harmonic. But yeah, point D, it's hard to say at the moment, right? We would just simply need to see if we get the reactions. So we got 69,000, 70 psychological, pop, I would say around 71,500, right around this monthly daily, which would be your kind of last resistance, what I would say, before all-time highs. Again, could you reject $73,487 at this naked point of control? Of course you could do something like this, right? Bam, and rejects. But you have to I have to think, well, that's not very likely. Okay, it's just not likely that Bitcoin does that. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. So I would say that this is your last resistance before all-time highs. So yeah, we got really like two levels really left before that. Well, and if you class the level that we're at right now, right, then there's three. But that's what we got going on in terms of this harmonic. Let me just refresh my brain. Okay, so that would be your last short opportunity. We are above the sideways channel, which is good, and of course we're above the middle of this channel as well. So this is both bullish. We're at more or less that range point of control. Point of control, so it's pitchforks. That's where we bounced off of. This is our range. I'll put that next to that. Let's just give a quick recap of these bullish Elliott wave counts. So yeah, we really do have that potential of the fourth in. That gives us then this target. Let's just remind myself of the target here. So we have two targets in play. Trend-based fib extension. The one to the two. We obviously currently rejected perfectly of the 1618. So let's have that then at the two. $96,000. That would give us the 1, 2, and then we're working on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the third. So that comes in at around 96k. And then we got this pull, which would now be length of the 1 to the end of the fourth. 1 to 1. Over 100k. You just think about this a second. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, the target's obviously much more bullish, but that really would point towards a move up of to around $100,000. And then we can be looking at, let me add this both into that bullish count. And then for the bearish count, we still have this in play, right? And we've talked about this heavily. This is still a bearish count. We can absolutely make a new high above $73,000. And the maximum allowance that I've given to this is up to 83k. That's like the maximum that it can get up to. If you get above this, absolutely invalidates this count. But there is still the potential, right, of this. Again, at this point, we would say a lower probability count, right? If we're breaching all-time highs again, 100%, like I'm favoring the bullish count. I'm looking for higher prices. So I just want to make that really, really, really clear that this, if we breach all-time high again, is not my preferred count. But I'm not going to forget or ignore the count. I just would say it's not my preferred count. But we do have to be remain objective and realize that we can absolutely come up all the way maximum of 83k. Again, if we get above 83k, count invalids, delete it. But it's still valid if we do end up rejecting 83,000, well, or below. So between 73 and 83, we've got a $10,000 maximum rejection zone, where we could look for this price action to come in to give us the rejection and still have a unprobable, because we're really pushing boundaries here. Getting above 1618 extensions, come on, like this is not bearish. So we're really, really pushing some boundaries. Doesn't seem like the most probable, right? But I would give it the allowance from the X, from the W wave, giving up a maximum boundary there of onto the 1272 extension, right, from high of the start of W to the end of W. Again, I don't think that would be the most likely count, but I'm not going to say it's not valid, right? So that for me is something that I'm aware of, but yeah, breaching all-time highs, this is the thing, right? We've already had that first fake out of all-time high to $73,000. Well, we did technically have a lot of confluence, right? One-to-one extension here. Let me just draw it out for you. You had the one-to-one extension of wave 1 to 2, right? 1-to-1 on the 1618. Extremely technical reason why we rejected where we did. Okay, and so if we actually get through that, again, we don't want to see a fake out, because if we just do another swing failure pattern, then that's clearly not a breakout. But if we are getting a breakout here and we actually flip that into support, I honestly see no reason why we can't push to 100k. We've already done the first fake out of all-time highs. Again, as long as we don't just fake out again of that all-time high, if we actually can flip that into support, yeah, I would absolutely be looking for prices towards $100,000. So, um, yeah, that's simply what I'd be looking for. So, yeah, that would be like 100% what I'd be saying is the highest probability count. As long as we flip that into support, there's no reason why we wouldn't be seeing $100,000 in my opinion. And yeah, that's basically what I'd be expecting. So let's add this into actually, yes, I'll add that into the bullish count. So yeah, that's what we got then in terms of counts and expectations. So I'll go through some lower, more medium-term time frame setups that I'd be looking at, but lower term time frame I think is the easiest, right? We're clearly at the daily naked point of control on the time. We got a really simple setup, which would be another fake out of the high. So we've all seen this plenty of times. Symmetrical ascending triangle, little bit of a fake out of the high, come back down below, reversal, right? So you see this a lot. You look for that fake out, reversal. The same for the upside, fake out, reversal. So yeah, you've always got that kind of fake out trade when it comes to a triangle. I never trade triangles in terms of a breakout thinking, oh, we break the high, I'm going to take a long trade. I never do that. I'm more of a, oh, we broke the triangle, do I have a short trade? If it does something like that, then I don't get the short trade. I do not long breakouts of triangles. So yeah, that's just something I'd never do. So the only thing I'd be looking for is a short. Do we come up here and get the short trades? Okay, if we simply break up, I get no trade and look for something else. So on the lower term time frame, I think that's the easiest setup. Is just to fake out of a triangle above the high. In terms of the medium term time frame, much harder, to be honest with you. Why? Because where we're looking at this $69,000 short to $70,000, what's the most difficult part of taking this short? You're shorting in the middle of the inefficiency here. So I would always just, whatever you want to class it as, quick move to the downside. I do not like shorting when there's a level, and again, I'm not even saying that this is a good level. This is a very low confluence level. So shorting a low confluence level in the middle of a quick move to the downside is not something that I like. There's no liquidity here. There's no strong level here. We have a weekly naked point of control and around a value area high. Like, I don't really class it as that strong of a level. If we had something better here, then it would be much more interesting. So this is the problem that I would have with lining up a swing short around 69k. Only way that I would ever be able to take a trade here is off of lower term time frame. Okay, the entry trigger. So you would really have to wait for something like this. See if you actually get the reaction intraday, then look for that pullback retest, or something like a mini range starting to form and get an intraday SFP, right? You'd have to go for an intraday setup. It's impossible to try and swing short that. You have to get an intraday setup. It's as simple as that. So that's why this 70,000, 69,000 is so hard, because the market structure that gave it to you. What the monthly is a little bit easier, right? Because the monthly is right on these series of highs. It's always it's a lot easier setup when you actually have some highs to go off. But again, at this point, I really would not be leaning bearish. Okay, and this is the thing, right? I would definitely not be leaning bearish. If we get a reaction, then I can look to lock in a short trade. But at this point, given the context, it's very likely we're hitting all-time highs. We're above all point of controls. We're above all value area highs. I would just be thinking to myself, it's not the highest probability that we reject here. Again, I wouldn't get bullish and I wouldn't be looking for longs up here, because we're clearly at resistance, and you do look for shorts at resistance and you look for longs at support. So the only trade I'd be looking for here is a short trade. I'm not going to be interested in any longs, but I would also have in my mind, it's very likely we're going to all-time highs. Yeah, it's very likely we're going to all-time high. So Yeah, this is where I think these short trades are hard. 70,000, 69,000 because of the inefficiency. At this point, we're above all major volume resistances. So that just is making me think, okay, we're going all-time highs. The context, everything would make me think we're going to all-time highs. If we get some sort of golden lower term time frame setup, just as I would short that naked point of control if I have a lower term time frame setup, I would also short, the daily, monthly level here if we get a lower term time frame setup. What I'm just saying is it's very difficult to be like, yeah, I'm just going to take this swing short trade here because, yeah, in my opinion, this is not a high probability short. So that's why I wouldn't preset limit orders here. Again, if you want to do it, do it. Do whatever you want, type of thing. But I'm not going to be presetting limits there because I just feel, from my opinion, um, I'm not a trade I'd be comfortable locking in limit orders on. Okay, I don't feel it's a extremely high probability trade. So, the invalidation is, yeah, clearly all going to be all-time highs, but I don't know. I just have the feeling that if we come up here, it's going to go through. Again, very, very, very important. I emphasize this. If we come up here, I am not looking for longs. The only trade I would look for is a short. But the only short way I would take the short here is off of a lower term time frame trade setup. I find it impossible to try and take this. Well, it's not impossible, right? I could clearly just place a limit order here, a stop loss here, and a target down here. But that's more of a gamble than a good trade setup, in my opinion. So I would just not place any limits here, and I'd just wait for if we get a lower term time frame setup. And if we don't, then I simply wouldn't take the short trade. um, so in terms of longs, I also feel honestly that there is not a lot of opportunity for long. Why? Well, similar scenario, very quick move to the upside during all of this move. Difficult long trade to be taking, right? Um, yeah, difficult long trade to be taking. If you're searching for something here, if you just look what you have below you daily, weak level, right? Naked point of control in the middle of a quick move to the upside, not really of interest for me. You're then moving down to the weekly, monthly, and at this point, you might be like, okay, we do have some fairly strong confluence. We have some higher term time frame point of controls, right? Monthly, potentially naked point of control, but my mind is still thinking of, okay, we have this untapped $60,000 liquidity here, so yeah, I feel if we start to break down, we can break down quickly. Okay, so I just feel we can break down quickly. Not a lot of support of that daily. Not a strong level on this naked point of control. Moving down to the weekly. At this point, I'm thinking, oh wow, let's just take out $60,000, right? So that's the problem that I have lining up any longs here with limit orders too, because it's just like if we start to break down, I think we break down quickly. And even though these do look like strong technical confluences, I don't know. I would just be thinking we've left this 60,000 retest here untapped. So yeah, I don't. Again, it's hard for me to say because I would need to see the volume and setups that we have on the day. But here on the the 19th, I would say it's very unlikely you'll see me taking a long trade here unless we get some very nice intraday setup. But yeah, my viewpoint would be if we start to break down fast, not interested in the long here, more interested in the liquidity below 60k. So yeah, that's kind of like we're in a little bit of a difficult place. The easiest trade setup, you could say, as always, the easiest trade setups are on lower term time frame. So you have the lower term time frame triangle fake out, which I think is an easy short trade. Everything else here in terms of a swing trade, not that easy because you are simply having to wait for the intraday setups. You got no trade, which I would, sometimes I see, it's a really good trade setup. But Bitcoin, I think, not giving that recently, right? Interesting stat, by the way, that the majority of volume now that you see on your major exchanges, the exchanges I trade on, that is now 90% institutional trading volume. So, Bitcoin has changed over the past 6 months, and it's no longer just a bunch of retail traders that are making up because if you go back a few years, all of the volume of Bitcoin was just retail traders. Like the majority was just random people trading type of thing. But now the majority of the volume is institutional volume. So, and you can see for yourself. And this is why it's good to have this information, right? I know because I know the exchanges, but it's very interesting to know that the majority of the volume is institutional. And if you look at Bitcoin over the past few months, you'll see that it is changing its style of trading. It is changing its style of trading. It's undeniable. And this is why it's so important to be aware of things, because how many times I can't remember the last time we were in a setup situation like we were earlier this week, where we had a perfect double top of the high. Just that we've seen before, but a perfect double top of the high, and also front running $60,000 here, but by $12. $102, right? So it's just like, I don't know, it's just something that you don't see very often. I can't remember the last time I've seen Bitcoin in a range which was done by a perfect double top and a psychological number front run like that. So I don't know, just things like this make me think, okay, yeah, like I already knew Bitcoin in terms of its volume is clearly different than what it was last year, but also it's just important to pick up on these patterns. Um, you could say maybe it starts to trade like forex. Maybe it does. Who knows? But time will tell. This is just something that we need to keep our eye on, be aware of it, and see how it progresses. But um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Bitcoin has been fairly difficult to trade over the past few months, and I personally have been having a lot more joy with altcoins. I've kind of not taken so many Bitcoin trades, and I have been taking more altcoins. So I'll start with the altcoin that I have had my biggest profits with over this year, and that has been Pepe. This coin has treated me very, very, very well. I've had some very nice gains on this coin. So and when I think about it, okay, why am I having more joy right now with like Pepe? AVAX I've been trading pretty nicely. What and I've actually started to trade Solana meme coins. But why am I having a lot of joy with these type of meme coins, Solana coins, and just meme coins in general? I think it's because well, first of all, they have way more volatility, right? Just look at this from entry on Pepe to the high, 150%. Bitcoin over the past few months has moved 5%. Pepe 150%. Of course, there's more joy to be had with a coin that's moving so massively. But also, there's no institutional traders trading Pepe, or we could say it's less likely, right? What institutions, but what institutions are trading Joe Biden coin, or Donald Trump coin, or USA coin, or Powell coin? No institutions are trading those things. So I just feel we have a lot more volatility. The levels are just perfectly respected, and Bitcoin is respecting levels, but I don't know. It's just moving so much slower. Front runs. I don't know. It just reminds me of trading forex. And again, I hate trading forex, by the way. So I'm hoping Bitcoin doesn't turn into that type of trade. But if it does, I think I'm just going to be trading altcoins. Of course, I'll trade Bitcoin, but I feel like I'll have more joy with altcoins because these things are like massive profit makers. Whereas Bitcoin, I don't know, if it goes the way of institutions, kind of a slow moving asset, not as much volatility, just very contained. Between the two, I've always liked to trade Bitcoin because of its volatility, right? And so if Bitcoin loses that volatility, why would I just not move over to altcoins? These things move 100%, very well respected levels, pretty easy to trade, and you can make 100% gains in a week. So it's kind of like, I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking right now. But we'll wait and see how it goes. But yeah, starting with Pepe then. So I don't know how many of you have been following along, but of course I've been updating this one in the Discord over the past few months. And really simply, we just had the long trades at range low. Okay, and where did it go to? We got to the middle of the channel. We got the back test of around anchored VWAP. And then we got the move up to the high of the channel. From the high of the channel, we could not reclaim. And so this is what it would look like on Bitcoin, right? So if we come up to $74,000 on Bitcoin and we get something like this, wicks, close above, next day back down below, wick. Okay, this is not a reclaim of the channel high. And so just imagine we're looking at Bitcoin right now because this is helpful. So let's say right now we're trading at $67,000. We're here on Bitcoin, right? Well, let's say we're here right now. We're unable to it's very similar when you think about it. These coins are very, very similar. So Bitcoin, take out of the triangle, moves its way down, failed auction range low. Rally after failed auction range low to $67,000. Currently, we're here. So we could get that pullback, let's say, and then move above, reclaim $67,000. We look for all-time highs. Yeah. When we get to all-time highs, or if we get to all-time highs on Bitcoin, if we do price action like this, we can look for another rejection candle short trade setup, right? Because this is clearly not reclaiming range high. And to get to $100,000 on Bitcoin, we want to see a reclaim of range high. Okay. But if we just do something like this, then guess what? You look for lower liquidity once more. And that's what's happening on Pepe. And ultimately, Pepe is just gone from range low to range high, to range low, to range high. Are we coming back down to range low? Time will tell. Okay, so let's see what we got in terms of new technical analysis. I want to just take a print screen at just 1 second. Cool. So let's see what we got going on here then. I do need to clean up this chart a little bit. Okay, let's go. Okay, not an official monthly yet, but I'll have it marked out. Shout out to Joe Bowden coin. Yes. uh, um, yeah, there's not really much close by, right? So let's pull the fixed range of this. We're at the value area high. Look at this. So this is what you call a very nice resistance coming in as support. Okay, so you just see it here. There was the low of the support. Okay, look at that. This is what I mean. Pepe coin hits that support resistance flip, 4.6% bounce. That's just very, very, very well respecting technical analysis. This coin is why I enjoy trading. But so let's do an Elliott wave count on this then. So my first thoughts are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but let's just see how this lines up actually. I don't, that's such a glitch. What's going on? Bruh. So what you have to think about here, so this is what is the important part of the count is wave 3 actually finished here, or is this correcting here? Okay, so 4 is still ongoing. That's what we need to think, because obviously this count, let's just say, is very different than if we're looking at this. Um, mm, mm, mm. Honestly, it's a difficult decision. I would lean towards 4 still being put in, just because it does offer like an easier trade. Um, I don't know, it would be nice to hold this overall bullish market structure, right? And maybe put in some flat, say, maybe put in some sort of flat like this, because this is also 3 wavy. 1, 2, 3. Thing is, 1, 2. Well, we obviously expanded here. We have took the highs here. Um, 2 places you would look for the end of the, if this is an ABC, 2 places that I would look for it, or a WXY. Look for it to take the low one more time and do something like that. Or a much more bullish version would be come down, hold that higher low and move up. And I would lean on that on Pepe. I do feel it is like a more bullish coin. And so, yeah, I would lean towards this, to be honest with you. Um, Yeah, I'm not gonna learn. Lie. I would lean towards this. Again, this is not a confirmed monthly though. That's the problem, right? So we're going off this monthly when there's still like another 11, 12 days to go. So 31 days this month. Um, So that's the problem with this. We want to see more consolidation. Well, if we can consolidate above value area high, of course, we can just get straight up continuation. But if we can consolidate and make our way down slowly, and that does get a monthly, of course, then that's, in my opinion, a great trade. But yeah, so the only problem that I do have here is I'm predicting this monthly when it's not yet a monthly level. And if this isn't a confirmed monthly and we come down here in the next like 5 days, it's not a long trade I would take, because I would like to actually see the monthly close above this to actually get a monthly level. So this is dependent on this taking its time to come down. Okay. But this is really what I'd be looking for in terms of the fourth. And if we come down quicker, then I would have to say the fourth is going to be lower. It's as simple as that. But if we take our time to come down, it does activate a really nice, in my opinion, long trade setup there on Pepe, where we would simply be looking. I wouldn't place a hard stop loss. Wouldn't place a hard take profit on this. I think it can run up and run up and run up. This is all time highs. So, I would just let it run, sort of type of thing. Standard target could be 1-to-1, wave 1 to the 4. Yeah, you could look for around 2,000 points as a maybe a take profit to pay yourself, and you're looking at nearly 200% gains to the upside, right? So You don't go broke taking a little bit of profit there, but this could go up another 200% after that type thing. So I wouldn't close the trade. But yeah, this is what I'll be looking at on Pepe. I still have my long, by the way, from when I took it at the range low here. And I actually took 2 longs down here because I took 1 long, got stopped out of it on this wick. And at that point, I was a little bit annoyed because I was like, oh, damn it. But then I just really simply re-entered my long around the 19th when we got the reclaim and traded it more. Originally, I traded this long off of a swing failure pattern. And then my next long was off of the failed auction. I recognized that Pepe was a good coin to be trading. But yeah, I still have that long open. It's not been closed. But this is what I'd be looking for in terms of like a new long that I would have interest in. So I'll save this, have the alert set, and we'll see, because I wouldn't take this long if we come down too quickly, because that's not a monthly level. It's as simple as that. But that's what I'll be looking for if we can take our time. Best if we hold value area high, but yeah, if we come down, that's what I'd be looking at. And the other coin that I've been having a lot of joy with is AVAX. Although this is still, I've got a swing trade long entry here, but I've also been, this is also kind of just formed a really simple range. For me, I am still in this long for the swing trade. It's already hit entry, but I still feel this has a lot of potential. It's just kind of curving up into a bit of a symmetrical triangle. So what we can look at this on a bit of a lower term time frame is boom, boom. That was a lower high, by the way. So you do have this little bit, and obviously the higher lows are holding, right? So we have got a bit of a symmetrical triangle. It's tapped. So what we'd be looking for is one of two things, really, on AVAX. Again, I'm always aware of a fake out scenario, even on altcoins. So if this does fake out, I would have to take some form of a hedged short trade. And we could look to trade it back down to the lows. And at the lows, we would still have another long trade, in my opinion. So fake out the high, fake out the low, rise. And again, if we do not get fake outs, then we can look for, of course, I'd like that scenario because I'm long. But if we do not get a fake out of the low either, right, and we just head down, then we would head down, in my opinion, much lower. Okay, on AVAX, well, honestly, we could see back down to $8. Why? Because again, this is such a strong rise to the upside. We're going through our consolidation right now. Okay, but if this consolidation breaks down, AVAX is very bearish. Like locally, at the very least, I really wouldn't be surprised to see $8-10. So it is an important time on AVAX. I do like the long trade. I'm kind of going for consolidation, continuation. But if I'm wrong on that, then I would, of course, just get out of this trade. And I would be expecting a major drop, really back down to $8. So I feel it's an important level. Yeah, my gut instinct is that we can get some continuation here, but I'm not going to hold on to this trade too long if it does start to break down, because yeah, that's clearly then going to be something like this: wave one, okay, triangle, flat, however you want to count this, irrelevant, but consolidation. And if we start to break down, then this is breaking down. It's as simple as that. So yeah, for me, I've looking for this as consolidation for continuation. But if we start to break down here, I think it breaks down very quickly. So AVAX is kind of one that I'm happy to stay long in. It's not been invalidated. But if we start to break down, I simply would just take a loss on that trade. Jamsey is another trade that I'm actually waiting for at the moment, and I'm looking for this to make its way down to around the anchored VWAP. It's not coming down at the moment. It's not coming down for me. And again, this is sometimes I can miss trades because I like to wait for what I class as like good or high probability trade setups. And so I've got this like marked out as a range low, anchored VWAP, daily level, 1-to-1 extension. I've got my confluence here for the long trades, where I just want to see a fake out here, right? And I'm looking to then take this back up here. This is around nearly a 200% gain. I would continue. I wouldn't close the trade here. I'd continue to look for higher. But the thing is, this is taking a little bit too long. Yeah, it's simple as that. It's taking a little bit too long. I'm not sure, really whether I think this is going to come down anymore. I'm not going to belong here. You know, for me, Jamsy is a coin where I'll wait for this to come to my entry, or I'll miss the trade. So if it pumps from here, I'll miss Jamsy. But yeah, for me, that's just the way that I'm viewing it right now. I would prefer to miss the trade than jump into it where we are right now. So you can actually see right now we are at the range point of control. So I'm still waiting for this entry. I'll wait and see how it goes. You know, if we start to reclaim above this point of control, then yeah, I'd have to say I missed it, and yeah, it's very likely heading up towards that monthly. But for now, I'll remain patient to see if we can get this drop to the downside for the entry before trading it back up. So yeah, I am remaining patient on Jamsy there. Let me see if we got any questions a second. I'm struggling to read basic market structure on multiple timeframes. I would honestly recommend, we have a lot of material on market structure. Severin has done a really good video on market structure. So I would honestly just recommend watch that over a few times. Yeah, of course, we have more than one video on market structure, but Severin's is really good. But yeah, it's not that difficult. Again, I have a very biased viewpoint, but I would say market structure is not too difficult on several time frames. But yeah, from the comment alone, I'm unable to know how much of the content you've watched, right? So I would say watch Severin's video because I think he explains it very well. I feel like I did do that. I started on the higher term timeframes and I worked my way down. That's what I done today. Bitcoin, you know, I think I said right. It's kind of in a difficult place. It's not really got any good swing trade setups. But I look at the higher term time. Well, I guess I didn't start on a very high term time frame. But yeah, the more you zoom out, the more bullish this is, right? But yeah, I mean, first, as it's the same comment, I would say watch Severin's market structure video, and then that really should make you understand market structure here. If it doesn't, then go to the trading assistant, and he will help you understand by giving you some tips or point you to other videos that also explain it. Yes. But again, I'm not gonna actually go through my whole Bitcoin analysis again, but yeah, the trades that I'm looking at are more based off of this range. Maybe next week I'll start from a whole. Maybe I might delete all my analysis and start from scratch. But yeah, I'm not going to go through Bitcoin again. Yes, I think the live trading is going to be very good. Yes, these are some of the Solana meme coins, which are very fun to trade. Happy to hear. I do not even use order flow when trading Pepe. So I'd be totally honest with you. When I'm trading these altcoins, I'm not even looking at order flow. I'm trading these on swing trade, so that is a factor, you know. So yeah, I'm not using open interest on Pepe. I'm not looking at the order flow on Pepe. I'm simply just using TradingView. I've always said this. My style of trading altcoins is very simple. Very simple, and yeah, it's very simple way of trading. I know you can obviously make this more complex, and yeah, if you are like scalp trading altcoins, of course you're going to want to make it more complex, right? You're going to want to add in order flow. But because I'm not scalp trading these altcoins, I'm simply swing trading them. I'm on the daily term time frames. You know, I'm not looking for the best sniper entries. I'm just happy to get a nice average entry and take it on for a month or two. So yeah, I'm not actually using I'm not using the open interest on Pepe or order flow on Pepe in general, right? But I do believe you know, that if you want to use that, you can. Like, there's no reason why you can't. And someone replies, yeah, so you can get the open interest on Atus. So if you want to see the open interest on Pepe, then you can use Atus, maybe Quant Tower. I'm not sure, but I haven't used it, so I wouldn't like to say. But apparently on Atus or Quant Tower, maybe you can look at the order flow on these coins. And again, if you want to scalp trade, if you want to lower term time frame trade them, yeah, go for it. But yeah, my style of trading results is more swing trade, higher term time frame, get a nice entry. I do not look for a sniper entry like I do on Bitcoin. I just try and get an average nice entry and hold it for a few weeks, a month, 2 months. It's what I done on Pepe, right? That's literally what I done on Pepe, and this coin made me over 100% gain to the upsides, and was my biggest win of the year. This coin has made me more profits than anything else this year, right? This for me has been a massive win, and it was really simple. It was really simple trade. So yeah. um, and the last question that I've had come in here is do what we do, or do I gather stats, or should you gather stats for altcoins? And I would say yes, 100% yes. So just as when we're trading Bitcoin, we journal and we gather statistics from our trades, 100%, I would say yes, you want to be doing the same on altcoins, because I would always say this: altcoins have their own personality too. So just as we get used to trading, let's say Pepe, or how I used to trade, coins like Algo and Tezos, right? I had a really good feel for them because I traded them so often, and I do feel like each coin has their own personality. So I do feel it's very helpful and useful to trade the same coins generally and gather statistics on them. Yes. So do I gather statistics for alts? The answer is yes. And is there a need to gather statistics? Well, you could say there's no need. You don't need to do it. But if you want to increase your win rate, if you want to if you want to win more trades, then yes, you should do it. So yeah, there's a yeah. I would personally would say you should be doing it, but yeah. That would be my answer, I suppose. Yes, you should do it, but you don't need to do it. But you should do it if you want to. I would say it would make you a better trader. So, um, yeah, there we go then. So that is what I am looking at today. Next week we'll go straight into the live trading. That's where I'll take these trades live on stream. I'll line up all the trades, trades like this where we could have like limit orders. I'll place my limit orders, get all the trades ready, explain why I'm doing this, what I'm looking at, and then week on week we'll see the trades that I win, the trades that I lose, what went right, what went wrong, and I feel it's going to be a really nice it's not really a series, but I feel it's going to be a nice way that you can actually see how I take my trades, and um, yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. So yeah, that starts next week. So I hope that you are looking forward to that. Thank you ever so much. Bitcoin, as always, I will update you during the day on Discord. So for all the day trade setups, when I'm saying I'm waiting for like an intraday setup, I'm waiting for intraday setups. Of course, every single day of the week, we have live trading streams where we go over we have the daily morning update streams where we go over the day trade setups, right? And of course in the Discord, whenever something comes up, we post in the Discord. So yeah, hope that you've enjoyed. Thank you ever so much, and I will see you over in the Discord. Cheers, everybody. Thank you. Have a good day, and see you in the Discord. Cheers. Bye.